Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Poplar Report. We got lots and lots of information coming out on the new administration. Some really exciting appointments and some concerning developments as well. I want to walk you through the recent appointments that Donald Trump has done, and I want to give you some hot takes on some of the what this may indicate for the direction of the administration, some of the challenges it may face. And let's just see how much the rhinos and the deep state are freaking out about these appointments, because the more they freak out, the happier I am. I am cautiously optimistic, but let's keep an eye on it all. Let's jump into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and we're keeping an eye on what's going on here. The election is over, but now the consequences of the election are starting to be felt by the appointments that we see in the administration. And one of the things, the first takes away that I'll have is that it seems like Donald Trump really feels like he has a mandate. He is appointing people who are loyal to him. So he's not appointing the best qualified or the people who have the most recommendations on paper. He's not appointing people he thinks he can get through the Senate. He's really, he seems to be appointing people that he wants and he thinks will carry out his agenda. And that is very important. Another thing I'd like to say on the very front end is it's a very Florida makeup so far. Now, Donald Trump is from Florida currently for tax purposes, as well as kind of almost politically now. He's much more in line with what's going on with DeSantis down in Florida than he is with what's going on in New York with all their woke craziness. So we got Chief of Staff Susie Wiles. She has been appointed. She was actually the main person with the campaign. She was running the campaign, so now she's running the office of the White House. So Chief of Staff. Now there is a little bit of concerns there, but she's from Florida. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is from Florida. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz is from Florida. And Attorney General Matt Gaetz now is from Florida. Some of these might be new to you because these things are just coming out like a fire hose, right? All right, so, and like I said, the more the rhinos and the deep state freak out over these appointments, the better. Now, nobody's really freaking out about the Chief of Staff appointment, Susie Wiles. I think part of that's just because it was just so telegraphed and so obvious that that's where it was going, because she is the, campaign manager going to Chief of Staff. Chief of Staff kind of keeps everything moving, works on the schedule, makes sure that everything's happening in a timely fashion, that the priorities of the president become the priorities of the schedule for the Oval Office particularly. So they're like the conductor, kind of moving everything through. And while they have power and while they have influence, Chief of Staff is really, basically they're like a glorified secretary, like a really glorified secretary. Like they are the chief secretary of the United States, basically. So they're almost the executive assistant to the president. So now she was a lobbyist for Pfizer back in the day. So that is a point of concern. But one job that she had at some point, I don't know if that colors her for life. She is very loyal to the president. And now I don't like seeing somebody that has been in the pharmaceutical industry so close to the president right off the bat. But like I said, there's going to be some concerns I have along the way, but I'm cautiously optimistic overall. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. That just happened yesterday. I'm still not sure how to take that one. Marco Rubio and Donald Trump really went at it years ago, and I'm surprised that he's putting Marco Rubio into anything. Now, one of the other things I'm going to notice here too is that he's appointing a lot of politicians, a lot of outsider politicians and congressmen and senators to a lot of these positions. I know that's not super unusual, but he's not appointing bureaucrats who have a lot of experience running departments. He's putting a lot of congressmen and senators into these positions, and as you're going to see, governors, and so that is it. It feels a little different, and I haven't really assessed. I've only been doing this for 3 years now, so I haven't done this before. Really digging into the cabinet makeups and stuff like that, but it feels a little different that way, from my understanding. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Is this just like completely normal, or what? I feel like the Democrats appoint more deep staters, more bureaucrats that have come up through the ranks and have been promoted by their failures. I mean, anyway, their political maneuvers within the cabinet levels and the I want to say directorate, but directorate is a very British thing to say within the departments. That's the word. All right, so Marco Rubio, he's a bit of a hawk. Now, this is Secretary of State, so he's going to be in charge of diplomacy, which is kind of an odd choice. I just don't see Marco Rubio as the guy who is the top diplomat. He's going to be in charge of the State Department. And that's, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying he'd be a bad one. I'm just, I'm all about, like, just throw chaos in there and just let it all happen. But I mean, when you remember, like, remember how they were saying, like, the Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, this is the most prestigious position within the administration, and it's all about the diplomacy with other nations. And Marco Rubio is very much going to be on board with the whole, hey, Europe, you're not pulling your weight, and telling other countries to just get lost. I mean, that's really what we need the Secretary of State doing. We need him to soften the blow of a lot of stuff, but we need to make sure that they are not coddling other countries, because there's going to be a whole lot of tough negotiations that are going to happen. I don't know if the deal with Mexico and Central American countries, the stay in Mexico thing, is going to have to be renegotiated. I'm not sure if NATO is going to have to be renegotiated. A lot of things are going to have to be renegotiated. And when we talk about peace in the Middle East, peace in Ukraine, peace with China, these are going to be tough negotiations. And Marco Rubio apparently is going to be dead center of a lot of these things. And is he a diplomat that can really handle that? And I haven't seen him do that. But then again, I don't know. Maybe. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. National Security Advisor is going to be advising the president on national security stuff, right? He's a bit of a hawk from Congress. He's all about... now, I was kind of hoping that he'd be surrounding himself with, like, the Rand Pauls, the people who are like, get us out of these other countries, get us out of these conflicts. But he seems to be surrounding himself by people who are going to be very tough as nails kind of people. And so it seems like what he's looking for is people who can talk the big game, but at the end of the day, who are going to be loyal to him. So he's going to be able to rein them in. They're going to be his attack dog, so to speak. And then he's going to rein them in. That's kind of my read on the situation. So National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, he's someone who's going to make other countries kind of go, he might want to go to war, Attorney General Matt Gaetz. Now this is a fun one. He's in charge of the Department of Justice here, which includes the ATF. But FBI's there too. So Matt Gaetz, he has been front and center defending Trump during the impeachments, outspoken on COVID accountability, absolutely against any kind of corruption, and has called it out so often. He has been foaming at the mouth to go after the deep state inside these agencies, and he is no fan of the ATF. He is no fan of the FBI, and he is now going to be Attorney General. Rhinos are absolutely freaking out over this one. Over all of the appointments so far, the Matt Gaetz Attorney General thing is they are not happy with that. And frankly, they're saying that they will not get him through the Senate, that they will not confirm him. And so we'll see how that goes. But that's the one that's got them really, really upset. Now we got some other ones that are getting them kind of upset, but that's the big one. Yesterday, there's a whole bunch of quotes here from rhinos, Republicans in name only. We got kind of the deep staters. They're just very, very unhappy. Matt Gaetz is someone who rocks the boat, very partisan. I mean, he's not afraid to stand up for the truth, which is kind of unusual, right? And I mean, when I say partisan, I mean he toes the party line in the sense of conservative and MAGA and freedom, the Freedom Caucus. He's a staunch conservative when it comes to accountability, small government, these type of things, and he holds to his principles. He doesn't bend like a wet noodle like a lot of these other politicians do. So kudos. Tom Homan, border czar. Now, part of the reason why he's probably not becoming Department of Homeland Security director, he might be doing that because Tom Homan may not be able to get through the Senate. If he was being appointed to a cabinet level position, that might be just a bridge too far. He has told off the Senate. He has shot his mouth off very much so, speaking very bluntly about deportations. So he's being appointed border czar, which does not need to be approved by the Senate. He was the former ICE director, and so he's very much about implementing President Trump's deportations and the securing of the border. Now, the Department of Homeland Security cabinet position is going to be Kristi Noem. She is the governor of South Dakota. You may be familiar with her. She is a proud hunter and gun rights supporter, advocate. She has previously supported punishing sanctuary cities, Democratic sanctuary cities. She's a tough cookie. She is a governor, so she knows how to run a large administrative position. Now, South Dakota is a smaller state, so she doesn't have as many moving parts in the state there, but still, there's a lot going on. And so a governor who knows how to manage a large organization relatively well is going to be good, because Department of Homeland Security is a big agency. It's got FEMA, Secret Service, right? ICE, border security. So border security, she's also got FEMA to clean up, which I know a lot of you guys want her to clean up FEMA. Now, I think FBI is in Department of Justice, though. But I think Secret Service is Department of Homeland Security, though. I could be wrong on that. But she's got a lot of departments and agencies that she needs to deal with, and a lot to clean out, a lot of deep state mess. George W. Bush, he made a mess of things with the whole war on terror and some of the Department of Homeland Security. We got TSA that needs to be cleaned up. If she just cleans up TSA, I think we will all really thank her. Really thank her. She should take TSA and cut it down to 1/10 or 1/20th of what it is, because so much of that is just absolutely stupid. Pete Hegseth is going to be the defense secretary. He was a Fox News host. I don't have TV, so this is what I'm told. Fox News host, his contract with Fox News just ended. He's an Army veteran, very much opposes the woke military, and his top priority is getting the Defense Department to be fighting a war, not promoting all this woke stuff. And so they're talking about starting a commission to recommend basically the firing of officers who have taken part in this woke indoctrination. They got a lot of stuff that they need to do because this has really sunk in deep into the military and needs to be rooted out. And we need to promote war fighters who are competent at command, and get rid of a lot of the fluff in the Army, Navy, Air Force, and everywhere else. So we need to clear things out. And so he's less of a known entity, at least to me, but he's a little bit younger of a guy. So I think it's going to be an interesting ride with him. I'm not sure his perspectives on how eager he is to get into war, but as a veteran, I'm going to assume that he is a little bit hesitant to that. But still, military has that kind of want to go to war portion of them too, though. Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence, so she'll be in charge of the CIA, NSA. The information coming from those agencies will go through Tulsi in order to get to the president. So that's interesting. But they also have their own cabinet level director. So there will be a director of CIA, a director of the NSA. So she won't be so much there to clean out those agencies, but rather in sifting through the information that they provide to make sure that they're not pushing their agendas on the president. So that's going to be important, an important job for her to read through the BS and to really find the truth in things and make sure that gets to the president. Elon Musk and Beck got appointed to the Department of Government Efficiency, or Doge, as in Dogecoin. Yes, it's got, if they really name it that. And now, what exactly is that? Is that actually going to be a cabinet position? Is that actually going to be a department? It doesn't have any funding as of yet, if Congress creates it. So right now it looks like it's kind of an advisory role, kind of like a czar kind of thing, position. I don't know. We haven't gotten any clarification on that just yet, exactly what that's going to look like. But Elon and Beck are going to be in charge of that. So we also got news that Elise Stefanik is going to be the ambassador to the UN, and Mike Huckabee is going to be ambassador to Israel. Those sound like good. Elise Stefanik has talked about defunding the UN refugee, the one that's just to the Palestinians. Like they created an agency for refugees, but just for the Palestinians, and this has been used in order to shield and support Hamas. And she's talked about cutting funding to that, which I think is an absolutely good idea. The UN, by and large, is a joke and is used as a human shield by Hezbollah, by Hamas. The Smurfs just really don't help. So the blue helmets, or the Smurfs, just don't help really so much in a lot of these conflicts and such. Mike Huckabee is a hardliner on Israel. People in Israel and the hardliners in Israel very much like him. So he's talked about basically eradicating the West Bank and things like that. So he means business. Now, I think, once again, Donald Trump is assembling attack dogs, and I think Donald Trump is going to use them to signal and to threaten in order to get good negotiations underway. So I think that we're going to find peace, but it's going to be peace through strength. And that's what we're kind of seeing out there with these appointments. Let me know what you guys think down below. There's probably already one or two more appointments that I haven't caught already. But thanks so much for watching. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.